Hey, what's up? So today I'm doing a little bit of a life update video. And if you're here, you've probably read the title of the video already and you realize that I'm pregnant. Yeah. Well, not me. My wife is pregnant. And these kind of videos just feel weird to me. Like, I don't do this kind of video. So bear with me if this seems a little awkward at first. Once I get into it, I assure you it'll be fine. But yeah, we're pregnant and it's super exciting. Not terrifying at all. No, but I really just wanted to do a video letting you fans know what's going on in my life because I feel like I owe it to you. You fans are a big part of my life. YouTube is a huge part of my life, and I wanted to break the news to you. It's actually been a while. My wife is actually 6 months pregnant right now, so I've been putting this video off for a while. It's just trying to wrap my head around it, trying to figure out what to say, and I've kind of just convinced myself, just sit down and just do it. Just do it, man. Just stop building it up in your head. But yeah, so let me tell you a little bit of how we got pregnant. We had sex. It was awesome. It was great. End of story. Actually, it wasn't that easy for us. We were actually trying to have a kid for 1.5 years before we got pregnant. It was a long road coming up to this, and we're so excited, honestly. It was 1.5 years, and see, I didn't know we were supposed to have sex. Okay, that's where I was going wrong. It was like 1.5 years, and it was, so about 1 year went by, we weren't getting pregnant. Nothing. So we decided to go to a specialist. And the thing about going to a specialist is that when you go to a specialist, you don't just get in right away and they start working on you. No, you go and you have to be on like a 3-month waiting list. So even after, my advice to anyone who's having trouble getting pregnant, go at like the 8-month mark. Just go and tell them you've been trying for 1 year because you're going to be on a 3-month waiting list anyway. So basically at a fertility clinic, if you didn't know, what they do is they watch you have sex. You know, they tell you to improve your hip movements. And they tell you how to do everything better, you know? Well, that's what I thought, but turns out that guy was just a pervert. Yeah. You don't find your fertility clinic on Craigslist. That's what I've learned. But anyway, back to our story. So it was about 1.5 years. So after 1 year, we finally got into the specialist. They did a bunch of tests on us, and they realized that me and my wife, we had what was called unexplained infertility. Basically, they told us, you can't get pregnant and we don't know why. Which is almost worse than hearing like, hey, this is the problem and here's how we fix it. But no, they were like, you guys can't get pregnant, we don't know why. And then they gave us a plan to follow. Like, if you do this, it'll increase your chances of getting pregnant. And then it worked and we got pregnant. And we're super excited. Did I say that? I feel like I have to tell you. It really sucks though when you've been trying. Some of you probably know if you've been trying for a long time. It was like 1.5 years, we still weren't pregnant. And it's very discouraging because it was at the point where I'm like, can I even get her pregnant? Because you always hear about couples who are like incompatible, you know? Like nothing's wrong with them, but their sperm and egg just don't want to mix. Maybe they're brother and sister, I don't know. But anyway, it just makes you feel like your life is on hold, you know? You want this thing so bad, but you can't do anything about getting it to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to move on with the next stage of my life, having kids, you know, all that. But you can't. And it just makes you feel like you're on hold. But, so, I'm getting very, like, off topic. So, we're pregnant now. She's 6 months pregnant. So now the baby, we're not figuring out the gender right away. We're going to wait. We're going to be surprised. I know some of you are probably wondering, is it a boy? Is it a girl? Well, we're not going to figure out. We're going to wait for it to be a surprise because it'll be the biggest surprise of your life. Honestly, if it was my choice, I would have just been like, hey, let's figure out if it's a boy or a girl because I hate waiting. I don't know. I'm just impatient. And then you can buy cool boy stuff or cool girl stuff. But my wife feels very strongly about waiting and letting it be a surprise. I'm not going to fight her on it. It's not that big a deal for me to figure it out right away. You know, she's the one carrying it for 9 months. I feel like there's certain decisions that she's allowed to make. And we do have a boy name and a girl name picked out, which I'm not going to tell you because I know how people can be in the comments. So those are just for me. But if you want to try and name my baby, you can leave some comments down below. I won't use any of your names, but, you know, it'd be fun. Name my baby. Right now we've been referring to the baby as LB, Little Bean. That's easier than saying he or she or it. LB, we're just referring to them as LB. This video feels like a fucking nightmare to me. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I'm talking really fast. I'm sweating profusely. I never get on a real level like this with you guys that often. So, you know, bear with me if this video seems a little weird. See, I got some notes written down. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, and if you're wondering what the due date of our baby is, the due date is December 25th. Right on Christmas. It's not great. to be a Christmas baby. Christmas will always trump your birthday, but I would rather have a Christmas baby than no baby at all. And you might be asking too, do you want a boy or a girl? And I don't care. As long as it's a healthy baby, I don't care. There's no side I'm leaning towards. I'm not leaning more towards a boy or towards a girl. I really don't care. I just want a nice, healthy baby. So I thought it'd be fun for you guys if I showed you some of the ultrasounds. You want to see pictures of LB? You want to see some pictures of this little baby? Huh? Let's have a look. The evolution of my little baby. Little bean. LB. All right, so here's the 6-week ultrasound. Now, not a lot of people get a 6-week ultrasound, but because we got pregnant through the fertility clinic, they like to check up on you 6 weeks and then every 2 weeks until you get to 10 weeks, and then they kick you out. They call it graduating. And you probably don't know what you're looking at here, so I put a little circle on there, and that is our little baby right there. Tiny little tiny baby, like a little chickpea. So we got to see our baby really early, which was nice. And here's our 8-week ultrasound. Still pretty much just a little blob. That's okay. That's why LB's such a good nickname. Little bean, little baby, little blob. It works on so many different levels. Here's our 10-week ultrasound. Baby's flipped around and actually starting to look like a baby now, which is nice. Just so you know, that's not a growth on that ultrasound. That's not a growth on my baby's nose, okay? Its hand is covering it. We were actually concerned because we saw 2 times the baby would always be in like this position. So the second time we had an ultrasound and we saw that, we're like, oh, okay, is that a growth on its nose? Is that a growth on their nose? Because now we're getting concerned. And the ultrasound technician, he was like, oh, no, don't worry. And he started bumping into her stomach to make the baby shake around. I was like, all right, I get it. It's a simple no would have been all right. Stop shaking my baby now, right? So yeah, that's starting to look like a baby, isn't it? Yeah. Our 12-week ultrasound, and now you can start seeing facial features, and you can start seeing the baby move around, and it was amazing. The first time I saw that little baby just stretching, it's hard to describe until you're there and you're experiencing it. It's amazing. Now, this is our 17-week ultrasound, and you can actually see the eye socket, the nose, the mouth, the body, the legs, the arms. You can see everything. We only got the 17-week ultrasound because we were a little scared and we wanted to make sure everything was okay, so we got sent in for an ultrasound. And I think that's pretty much the best ultrasound picture we had. And then this was our last ultrasound, 19 weeks. Not a lot of space left in there anymore, is there? I can't wait to meet this little baby. It's crazy that baby was like this big inside her, and now she feels it kicking around. And you might be like, hey, where's your wife? And I know a lot of YouTubers do these videos with their wives sitting next to them and they announce it. But my wife, a while ago, just decided she didn't want to be in my videos anymore. It's mainly to do with like her career and what she does, but I respect that. I'm not going to try and force it on her. It's not a big deal to me. 90% of my videos are just me joking around, making crappy jokes. So that's why she's not here. You'll never really see her in my videos. But if you dig deep enough, you'll see her in a couple videos from like 12 years ago. You want to see what our baby room looks like? I know you do. There we go. Isn't it? It's like straight out of a catalog, right? Yeah, that was all me. Well, I put it together. My wife came up with all the design choices. But yeah, I might have just blown through this video, talked way too fast. I'm very excited. I've been so nervous about doing this video. I don't know why. It's just, I don't do these types of videos. It's not what I do. But I feel obligated to let everyone know that I'm going to be having a little me. There's going to be a little me running around. It's not just me. It's going to be a little half me, a little half my wife. That's crazy. That is crazy to think. But yeah, that's our pregnancy story. I'll give you all some updates. And some people might say, hey, Fluffy, you're a degenerate. You can't be raising a child. Yeah, well, you can't control me anymore, Mom, Dad. Okay? Just let me live my life. And being a pregnant woman must be crazy, all right? Because my wife goes through these like crying fits sometimes that just for no reason. It usually starts with me making her laugh so hysterically that she starts to tear up, and then those tears turn into her just bawling. And the first time I was like, oh, what's wrong? Are you okay? What did I do? And she's like, I don't know, I'm just crying. It was crazy. It was actually pretty amazing to see that just transitioned from hysterical laughter into hysterical crying. There was one time just recently, we were playing Lego Dimensions, and she was playing as Homer, and she was driving around in this car, and then she drove it off a cliff, made herself laugh so hard that she started bawling. I was like, don't worry, the car respawns. It's okay. It's coming back. You didn't break the car forever.